I'm Sarah, 33. Standing in the opulent ballroom at my sister Lily's grand wedding, I was surrounded by a sea of elegance and celebration. But then, in a moment that shattered my world, my mother, Grace, stood up during the toasts with a champagne flute in hand. Everyone expects the typical mother of the bride speech, she began, her voice steady. But what followed was unfathomable. She revealed that Lily had been secretly sabotaging my career and relationships for years. My champagne glass slipped from my fingers and crashed to the floor, shattering into a million pieces. The guests fell into a stunned silence, and I looked at Lily. In her eyes, I saw guilt. That was the moment I decided to uncover the full extent of her betrayal and seek justice. Before I delve into how my family fell apart that night, let me take you back to the beginning. I've always lived in the shadow of my perfect younger sister, Lily. Our childhood home in the suburbs of San Francisco was filled with her trophies and awards, while my own achievements seemed to go unnoticed. My mother would often say, "Sarah, why can't you be more like Lily? She's so outgoing and successful." Even though I was making a name for myself as a cardiologist, nothing I did ever seemed good enough compared to her. Despite these feelings, I always tried to maintain a close relationship with Lily. We had regular dinners together, exchanged gifts on special occasions, and supported each other through life's ups and downs. But over the past year, things started to go wrong. I lost a major promotion at the hospital after false rumors about my professional conduct spread. My long-term relationship with Tom ended abruptly, and he couldn't even explain why. And then, my apartment flooded, forcing me to move in with my grandmother, Rose, temporarily. Lily was always there to offer words of comfort. "That hospital didn't deserve you," she'd say about the lost promotion. "Tom wasn't the right one for you," she'd console me after the breakup. And she even offered me to stay at her penthouse, but I declined because it was too far from the hospital. I threw myself into helping Lily plan her wedding to Ethan Thompson, the heir to a large tech empire. Ethan seemed kind and down to earth, and I was genuinely happy for her. Planning their wedding gave me something positive to focus on during the chaos of my own life. But I started to notice strange things. At the engagement party, I overheard Lily on the phone in the study. Her voice was hushed but intense. "No, she doesn't suspect anything. Just stick to the plan. It's almost done." When she saw me, she quickly ended the call and gave me her perfect smile, saying she was talking to the caterer. I pushed my suspicions aside, thinking it was just wedding stress. A week before the wedding, while helping Lily with her dress alterations at our parents' house, I heard her say from behind the bathroom door, "She'll be there, but she won't be a problem. Mom's on board with everything." When I asked her about it later, she dismissed it as wedding jitters. My grandmother, Rose, seemed to share my concerns. During a dinner at her cozy cottage in the countryside 2 nights before the wedding, she looked at me seriously and asked, "Has Lily always been kind to you? Truly kind?" I was taken aback by the question, but I assured her that we had a good relationship. However, her words planted a seed of doubt in my mind. The night before the wedding, at the rehearsal dinner, I ran into Tom in the hallway. He looked surprised to see me. "I didn't know you'd be here," he said. I replied coolly, "I'm the sister of the bride." "The better question is, why are you here?" He shifted uncomfortably and said that Lily had invited him as a plus one for someone who couldn't make it. Just then, Lily appeared and linked her arm through Tom's. "There you are." "Oh, Sarah, I see you found Tom. Wasn't it sweet of him to fill in?" The morning of the wedding, I arrived at the bridal suite at Ethan's family mansion at 7 a.m. sharp, bringing coffee and pastries for the bridal party. Lily was already in her silk robe, looking fresh despite the early hour. She grabbed the largest cup of coffee and complained about the makeup artist being late and my mother's panic over the flower girl sash. Despite being Lily's only sister, I wasn't the maid of honor. That role went to her college friend, Ava. Lily had said she needed me to coordinate everything behind the scenes, but it still hurt. As the morning progressed, Lily became increasingly irritable, barking orders at the bridesmaids and criticizing every little thing. When I handed her the pearl necklace our grandmother had given her, she snapped, I'm wearing the diamond one Ethan gave me. The pearls look so old-fashioned. Just before it was time to get dressed, Lily pulled me aside. Despite everything, you're my big sister. I wouldn't be who I am without you, she said, looking vulnerable for a moment. I hugged her and told her I was happy for her. But then, my mother burst in and announced it was time for the dress, and the moment was gone. The wedding ceremony was beautiful, with over 300 guests filling the garden. As Ethan recited his vows, I noticed Tom sitting on the groom's side. Our eyes met briefly, and he quickly looked away. After the ceremony, during the cocktail hour, I saw Tom and Lily chatting and laughing together in a way that made me feel uneasy. My mother cornered me by the champagne fountain. You look nice, Sarah, but a bit more makeup would help. Those dark circles make you look tired, she said. I replied drily, long hours at the hospital. She sighed and said I should have chosen a less demanding career. Then she asked if I'd be speaking during the toasts. I told her Ava was giving the maid of honor speech, and I wasn't asked to say anything. She frowned and said I should say something as Lily's sister. Finally, it was time for the toasts. Ethan's best man gave a funny and heart-warming speech. Ava followed with an emotional tribute to Lily that made me wonder if we were talking about the same person. Then it was my mother's turn. After her shocking revelation at the reception, chaos erupted. Lily stood up and shouted that my mother was having an episode. My father, Robert, looked completely stunned, unable to say a word. I finally found my voice and asked Lily directly if it was true. She tried to deny it, but I could see the truth in her eyes. I walked out of the ballroom and into the garden. There, I met Ethan's sister, Mia. She sat beside me and said, I always thought there was something off about Lily, but Ethan was so in love, he couldn't see it. She believed what my mother had said and told me she'd seen Lily's manipulative ways before. In the days that followed, I checked into a hotel. I called my grandmother, Rose, and she invited me to stay with her. She always had a way of making me feel at home. I learned that after I left the reception, Lily managed to convince many guests that my mother was having a breakdown. Ethan and Lily left for their honeymoon as planned, acting as if nothing had happened. Mia became an unexpected ally. She texted me and said she had some information that might help. We met at a quiet coffee shop near Stanford. She showed me a tablet with evidence of Lily's secret email account. There were emails between Lily and a hospital board member she was dating, spreading lies about my competence. There were also messages with Tom, showing that she had deliberately pursued him to test his loyalty to me. And there were receipts for a plumber she hired to flood my apartment. Armed with this evidence, I began my own investigation. I met with Tom, and he admitted that Lily had been manipulating him from the start. Their relationship had started as an emotional affair before our breakup. He said Lily had convinced him that I was neglecting him. I also learned that Ethan was starting to have doubts about Lily. Mia told me that he had noticed Lily's strange behavior during the honeymoon and was questioning what had happened at the wedding. As I gathered more evidence, I struggled with what to do. Part of me wanted to expose Lily publicly, but another part wanted to understand why she had done this. I talked to my therapist, Dr. Davis, who suggested that Lily's behavior might be related to certain personality disorders. I also discovered the root causes of our family's problems. My grandmother, Rose, told me that my mother and her sister, Helen, had a similar relationship. My mother was always jealous of Helen, who was more academically gifted. When they both fell in love with my father, and he chose my mother, she turned their father against Helen. I confronted my father at a restaurant. He finally admitted that Lily wasn't his biological daughter. My mother had an affair early in their marriage with a business partner, and when she got pregnant, they decided to raise Lily as their own. My mother had always been protective of Lily, perhaps out of guilt. With all this knowledge, I decided that my goal should be truth and consequences, not revenge. I developed a 3-phase plan. Phase 1 was to restore my professional reputation, which was already underway as the truth about the false rumors at the hospital came out. I was offered the promotion again, and I accepted it. Phase 2 was to expose the truth to key family members. I waited until Christmas Eve when Ethan's family invited us all to their estate for dinner. I worked with Ethan's grandmother, Amelia, a strong, willed woman who had built the tech empire with her late husband. She helped me set up a presentation on a laptop. At the dinner, after dessert, Amelia announced that we would exchange one special gift each. She gave me a box, and inside was a laptop. She said it contained a presentation about the truth. As the presentation played, showing Lily's years of sabotage, the family watched in shock. Lily tried to deny everything, but the evidence was irrefutable. Finally, Ethan decided to leave Lily. He said he couldn't be with someone who had lied and manipulated so much. My mother still tried to defend Lily at first, but as more evidence came out, she began to realize the extent of the damage. 6 months later, summer had returned to San Francisco. I was in my new office at the hospital, now the head of the cardiology research department. My work was flourishing, and I had a new relationship with Dr. Ryan, a fellow doctor who had supported me during the difficult times. My living situation had also changed. I bought a small house near my grandmother, Rose, and she moved into the guest cottage. The family landscape had shifted dramatically. Ethan's divorce from Lily was finalized, and the Thompson family took steps to protect their business from Lily's interference. My father, Robert, moved out of the family home and started counseling with my mother. Their relationship was still uncertain, but he had finally found his voice. And Lily, after the exposure, disappeared for a while. She later emailed me, saying she was in therapy and trying to understand what she had done. On a warm Sunday evening in June, I hosted a small dinner for my chosen family: Rose, Mia, Dr. Ryan, Dr. Davis, and his wife. As we sat on my patio, enjoying dessert and coffee, I raised my glass and said, "To the daughter who learned that family is defined by love and truth, not blood and secrets." The following morning, I received a notification about Lily's upcoming court appearance for financial restitution. After careful consideration, I decided not to attend. I was focused on building my new life and leaving the pain of the past behind. I knew that for the first time in our family's history, the cycle of betrayal and manipulation had been broken.